Howdy guys, I'm Jeep and Jason, and today on the AutoEdits channel I have a very fun, beginner level, easy install that actually is really high reward to pretty much any vehicle. I've done this before and I stick to what I said. Try this one. If you're a beginner mechanic type person that just wants to try something, a cold air intake is a home run of an upgrade to pick to do. With a pair of pliers and a 7mm socket, you could get this install done pretty much anywhere. My one bit of advice I'd like to give before we get going is that the parts that I pick here are the ones that I do the research for and I like, but pick the stuff that pumps you up after you do your research. I've already installed this kit on my buddy Joe's Jeep, and that's when I laid hands on it and went, oh, this is actually really good and this is what I wanted. And matter of fact, going this whole direction in this video was inspired by a lot of comments in a video a few ago when I was mentioning that I was going to change the cold air intake that I do have on the Jeep, which isn't 50 state legal. And here in California, you have to have a smog check and it won't pass the visual inspection. So it was time to make a change, and I'm kind of announced in that video that I was going to put the stock air box in with the K&N filter that I just had on a shelf. You know, I'm a pack rat, so I thankfully had that. And then there were a bunch of comments of people saying, don't do that. You're just gonna get the headache that you had from before. And as I got the box out and was looking at it, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. And the throttle body was always dirty every time I looked at it. And then I remember installing the banks on my buddy Joe's Jeep, and he's been running that thing and loves it. I remember this is a great kit. I enjoyed putting it in because it's easy, it looks great, and the technical aspects of it are great. And Banks is one of those companies that they put the research into the products. I actually subscribe to their YouTube channel and go deep dive into their technical videos. I watched one just the other day on an oil pan for a Duramax. I don't own a diesel, but I watched the entire thing and they just go so into the weeds, and I love a company that does that. So that's why this is a no-brainer for me. Some of the features that I'm digging right here is that because I'm getting older and refining my junk. Like when I finally added a resonator back into my exhaust, love it. Didn't make it quieter, it just made it nicer. These little V6s in these giant tanks of vehicles are just overmatched, so they end up droning and making a lot of racket. This is a Helmholtz chamber. Having this on here does not impede the airflow, it just makes it nicer. So when you're on an incline and you're in fifth gear, just foot to the floor, trying to just maintain highway speed up a hill, and it's just you hear that whoa in the cabin, it gets a little skull crushing after a while. So that sucker is just there to help being in the cabin for the human beings a much nicer place. This thing right here, I picked going dry again, so I don't have an oiled element. And here I have a couple of pro tips for you guys. I have been really happy running a pre-filter, and so this will go on to this thing right here. When you're deep into a pack of a trail of vehicles, your intake just gets hammered with dust. And so this just helps stave off that first layer of dust. These pre-filters are great. And then here is my second pro tip. And I learned from watching my buddy David in his Suburban, he keeps an extra air filter in the back of his rig. He can just pull the dirty air filter out of the box at camp, swap a freshie in, and then he'll blow this thing out and throw it in the back of the rig. And that way he just has this really cool system for being fresh. It's expensive to do this all right now. So, you know, buy once, cry once type of thing. Just a pro tip, think about that if you're in the ability to do that when you're ordering this kit. Now this kit comes in right in the middle of the price range. You have a bunch of cheap crap down at the bottom in the $100, $200 range, and I literally have a cheapie at Amazon filter on there right now that kind of bumped this thing back up the list of like, oops, gotta have to do something, and that's why I almost put that junk back in. So glad I didn't and just said, okay, we're gonna go with the right part, and that's what my videos I try to do. And the final thing that nudged me this direction is that this kit is 50 state legal. It has a carb sticker that you put on your core support, so any inspection, smog, whatever it is, this is all legal, doesn't affect anything. So it's legal, ups the performance, it does all of the things that I want, looks cool, is very durable. This is a no-brainer for me. So let's get this thing installed. Getting started, we'll just place the pins inside here like this and use the C-clip to hold these in place. This is where you may need a pair of pliers to get this in position. Stick the other two in. And what this does is just allow you to put this thing in the stock airbox mounting location. Okie dokie. So before we assemble this, let me show you a quick reference to line this up. You'll see these little notches on the bottom of your filter. There's an arrow at the bottom of the intake tube, the inlet tube. You're basically gonna just line those up just like that. And so the filter will sit inside the housing just like this. So now what we'll do is put the inlet tube in the housing. We'll get the filter on the end of the inlet tube. And I have my hose clamp right here ready to tighten up. I did have to put a little short extension on my socket there. Next up is to put the grommet for the inlet air temp sensor in its little home here. And that's it. Now getting this cold air intake out is the exact same as the stock air box if you're still stock. We'll get the beauty cover off here, loosen the two clamps at the throttle body here. There's a hose clamp right here. This is the PCV valve. We'll take that off. Now we should be able to just pull this off. Be careful, because underneath here is your inlet air temp sensor. So we'll take that out. And that's that little guy. And then this whole thing will come out as a unit. I'm fairly pleased with how clean the throttle body is. And then obviously the intake air temp sensor is looking pretty good. You want to just make sure that that's nice and clean as well. I thought it would be kind of a fun comparison to see them all lined up, from the stock air intake tube to the Delta Force one here, and then the Banks Ram Air, what I'm going to call the big dog up here at the top. And it's kind of neat to see this progression. There's obviously, there's quite a bit more engineering here, and that's something that I think gets underappreciated as we tune and do whatever. These looked funky, and I was glad to get rid of those, and I kind of liked the throatiness of this for a while, and then like I say, it was the longer trips on the freeway where this gets old. As I get older, I appreciate nicer things and better engineering, and that's why that will really be nice there. So you get that bigger flow, but you get really good engineering going on here to help just make it more pleasant for the humans. Other things, there's a kind of a 90-degree elbow on this one, 45 on these guys here, so kind of digging that. And before we stuff that thing into the engine bay, I have one more consideration to take into account. Is a cold air intake good for all Jeepers? No, definitely not. If you do a lot of deep water crossings, this might not be a good option for you, because your intake is this open inside the engine bay, and those darn smart Jeep engineers, the whole reason that the stock airbox sucks from right up here at the very highest point, right up inside the hood, is because that gives you all of this extra water protection. You really have to dunk your Jeep to get water into here. And so that is something to consider. I actually was in Mexico. I had one of the deepest water and sustained water crossings was up above the fenders. So it was above this, but I was thankfully in a group that kept moving enough where we kept the bow effect, which is just good water crossing technique, where you just keep momentum enough to keep the water going around the front of your rig. And thank goodness I did. I thought this would be a fun little demonstration of progression up through the technology. I'm gonna be really happy with this thing right here. So let's get it installed. So we'll install the intake air sensor before we get it tucked inside there, and then we can just plug it in right at the last moment. And so I like to put the exposed part of it, and not the part where the little reinforcement is, facing the air charge coming into the throttle body. And that'll go just like that until it bottoms out right there. And there it is, ready to rock. All right, we got our coupler installed. We can kind of get this down into place. Let's get our intake air temp actually plugged in. Let's get on down. Oh. As I was going down in there, I forgot all about, I have the PSC power steering reservoir up here, and I do have to do a quick modification to the bottom of this box because there's a bunch of junk and hoses down there that are in the way. So let me do that really quick, and then we can get this stuffed in. I'm learning that putting your pre-filter on now is a good idea. All right, so we'll get this down in place. Looking happy so far. Let's plug our air temperature sensor back in. Moment of truth. Oh, look at that, it went down. It's good, it's good. And now we'll get the actual inlet tube onto the throttle body. So we'll go ahead and get the coupler nice and tight, looking good. Again, pay attention to your hose clamps. These are really high quality hose clamps. They're not just regular style like we just took off of here. Final part of the install, we want to get the PCV vent hose attached here. So I just twisted it a little bit to go under. Gives me a nice shot, straight shot. We didn't have to modify it. And now we'll just move the hose clamp up into position. So you can see the air box is sitting flush, nice and solid, down into all three of those mounting holes. And let's get down inside here. Now you got a good view of the little notch that we cut out to clear into those hoses, and the box can sit all the way down there, nice and flush. Give plenty of room. The only other thing that you would have done on a fresh install was the Banks kit comes with these two hose clamps, just like the old kit that I took off did, to relocate your coolant recovery hose across on here. And that would be the only other thing, but we've already done that. Can't forget, one of the most important aspects of this for me is the carb compliant sticker. So you just want to affix that. I just cleaned this area off. There we go. Final piece. Putting the cover back on. We are good to go. Oh my gosh, it sounds so much better. I am very pleased already. Those were a couple full throttle pulls there you could hear, so you could still hear plenty of throttle body, but you didn't hear any of that hollowness that resonated throughout. So that thing is awesome. I say we saddle up, let's take it. I got a 7-mile loop, then we'll see what it feels like in the cabin up the big old 1-mile climb. So we're gonna get on the freeway here, and we got a mile of climb in here. Full throttle. So wide open throttle, let's go. Sounds so much better. I keep saying that. Does it feel more powerful? I don't really think so. Actually, right here at 3,000, and I'm still keeping it pinned. Let's lug it in 6th. Okay, I do feel a difference there. It seems to have, I do feel a little difference. It actually is right there in that mid to high range of RPMs where it just has just a little bit more grunt, like I could have just kept 6th gear there. So that's pleasant. All of these things, all check boxes going way up the list of accomplishing a really fun task. There's a few things, modifications for you car people that just want to bond with your vehicle and do something easy. This is one of the very easy, if not one of the easiest ones. Minimal tools, minimal skill, and you have such a high reward. I love the looks of this thing for sure. And the performance, it's better. So all of these things are just such positives. Fun install, looks good. You do it yourself, you get the reward of that, and then you get more performance. It's all good. With that, I thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, enjoy your drive.